Okay, we should be back and running the next part. And of course we tab back in. Sorry, I was just thinking words. Every time I tab back in, the camera has been at a weird angle. That should be fine. Hopefully you can still hear me just as clearly. Yeah, I did say at the end of last part, was another item, that I was going to go straight into the next one. Small lie, I did go and get something to eat first. Remember to have something to eat and drink every day. Throughout. Those ghosts are never really explained. The Outrider Knights that we see elsewhere that go beastly, but it's never really explained why we see spirits. I see dead people. One more. Yep, that's a two-part combo. Fuck, you're much faster than I am. But also easy to stagger. Now there are two knights up ahead, one on the stairs there, and this one that's patrolling. Okay, we've aggroed him. Are you gonna come on? No, you're just gonna throw stuff at us. He's either gonna resume his patrol or yeah, he's resumed the patrol. Means we kind of want to aggro this one. Yep, we have. Stop vomiting spirits at us. There we go. That was weird. I didn't see him do that move before. Managed to undercut him. Now it is starting to get into the afternoon here, where things get harder. Not harder, hotter. So if it seems slightly less reactive, it's most likely because of that. But we should be fine, I think. Irithyll is an area I've been through several times in the past. I don't expect any issues, other than my ability of English fading entirely. Some souls. Tri-finger. These guys are interesting. I do like them. Just don't like fighting the two that are here. They tend to be slightly weird. I do like these guys' hair though. Compared to other hallways, they are just much more aesthetically pleasing. No. Settle down. Okay, we want to run through here, because if we don't, we're going to aggro some knights. While I could kill them, I prefer not to. Why are you so tall? I'm not trying to shame you for height, but my god, you are way up there. It wouldn't let these two just naturally pass. If we do, it's much easier for us. Irithyll looks like an interesting city, but we never actually see other people actually just living in it. It's just a dead city by this point. And I think that's you guys passing there, right? Now we could run straight through to the church, but I've got to do this. Yep, there's another Pontiff Knight here, I think. Yep. Item here. And then there's a Screamy Boy. They're not really speaking as per normal. They're just making noises. Ow. It hurt more than I thought it would. Oh, that's a big one. Okay. Wild Tree Branch. I think that's a catalyst. No, I said that we didn't want to fight the two knights that came down. We're going to fight the two knights that came down. I forgot that, there's no real easy way past them, I don't think. Or have they already returned? Oh, they're there. They're just on a patrol route. It's gonna be messy, we're probably gonna die, but... Okay, I want to get the one on the left first, if we can. Sword. Yep. It's always the second one that gets hit. I do like their armor set as well, but... It reminds me of the dances, if it makes sense. But it's much harder to farm up. If we get... I'll make a deal. If we get a full set of Pontiff Knight armor from this area, we'll wear it. But I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, that should be everything we need from there. There's no more patrols that we have to worry about as we go through here. There are those items up there, but we're going to get them later. I think there was something over here. Yep. Another large shard. Now, I know I've given the smaller shards, now that we don't need them, a little bit of, I'm not going to say shit, but a little bit of haze. Like, hey, we don't need this shard anymore. That is actually good that we're getting more of them, because later on we might want to upgrade other weapons, and having a good stockpile of them could prove useful. Okay, we will get this one item, but we're not going to continue and deal with the enemy underneath. Because we just don't need to. We're going to come back through here later on. We do actually need to go back and talk to Anri, I believe. Because otherwise he will not spawn here. Yep, that's something I forgot to do. Okay, let's topple back to the catacombs and do that quickly. I think the best way to get to him is through here. We'll have to deal with all the skeletons again, mind you, but yeah, it's fine. We're not embered up, I don't think, at the moment, so we shouldn't have to deal with the invader. Now, ball skeletons moving along like that would actually be kind of scary, because it would be able to turn itself rather than going in a straight line. Okay, some rats. Oh, we don't want to get hit by ball away. Okay. I do believe Anri should be at the top of that area there. He's either there or we'll go back and tell him about Horus in the other area. Okay. That should be fine. Yeah, he's up there. Or she, depending on your playthrough. Anri, the gender is opposite of whatever gender you picked at the start of the game.
Oh, have you seen Horace?
Do not tell us Smoldering Lake. Say nothing.
Oh, yeah. I've searched high and low. Oh. Oh, have you abandoned me?
Yeah, don't tell him. If you tell him, he goes mad. And that ends the quest line. So we just do that. Run through here. And he now should be at the church in Earthville. Hopefully. 20k souls, but we're not going to go spend them. We're going to keep them to go back to the Church of Yoshka. Now, I can't fully remember, but I think Dark Souls 3 came out after Bloodborne. Just off the top of my head. Which is why the Church of Yoshka is a reference to the clinic, I think. Oh, someone there in Hevel set. That's a brave man. And Anri should be here.
Oh, I thought it might be you. I never managed to find Horace, but my duty must, for the children I knew. We all have, please, and also I would do well. May the flame.
Right, resolve.
You are brave indeed. I would do well to. May the flame.
Now, the Ring of Evil Eye is actually a very nice one. It's one of my favourite items in Dark Souls 1. Essentially just gives you a small boost of HP healing every time you just defeat a foe. It carried me through my very first playthroughs of Dark Souls, to be perfectly honest. We're not going to use it here. We don't really need to. By the way, if you are doing Anri's questline and do not want to go Lord of Hollows, you want to save, quote unquote, save Anri till the very end of the game, you kill this. You just hit it a few times and Anri's questline will be fine. There was nothing up here that we can get at the moment, was there? That's more for later, I think. Yeah. There is one item we can get over here, but it's specifically for PvP. Because I believe we use this roster of knights, we can check, because I believe we're online at the moment. The roster. Knight number 1. Because it's been out for so long, people have maxed out the score. Even if I were to go through the rankings, actually, we have 10 that are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 at rank 1, and then we go to the next page. Yeah, we have 101. So yeah, contribution rate at this point, rather low. If you want to get underneath 100 though, that could be hard. You may need to max it out. I'm not sure if it ever resets. It may. I think you get 1 contribution rate with every person you save, so the people that have maximum contribution rate there, that's impressive. It just means they've done over that many contributions. I could be wrong. You may actually get more than 1 contribution per run, but who knows? I certainly don't. It's not something that I have tried to do. And now we're entering the area of hidden enemies. Yeah. Just fully make themselves invisible for a period of time. There's no hidden enemies up here. There is a enemy though. One of the Coven people. One of the, I want to say villagers that want to get wings. Undead Venture. I'm actually quite happy that we've got as many undead bone shards as we do. It's very helpful when your Estus heals up, I'm going to say all or most of your HP, rather than only half. Later on when we get more vigor, it's going to drop down to that point, but... Oh, get this one before it disappears. It just feels good. I'm going to say that. There's some dog there, right? Yeah. Okay. There's some doggos here. I dislike dogs. Get those two done. There's one more here. Really? Get me before I hit you. Need to swing my sword faster. It's one of the downsides of the Shigeru, in fact. It has one of the longer reaches compared to other katanas. Not the longest. Washing Pole, I think, still beats it out. But it also has a slightly slower attack speed, I think, to make up for it. Could be wrong about that, again. I tend to assume a lot of things. People that have played this game are probably screaming at me, it's like, no, you're wrong, it's actually one of the slower katanas. Or I should say one of the fastest ones, but... Oh. Okay, you need to stop vomiting at me. Really? Who are you guys out there? There's more on the rafters, but that's... Oh, blood gem. Most of the ones down here, at least. There's still a couple more over here. Putting one behind us. Don't be careful not to get grabbed behind, they will backstab you and murder. Like that. That one didn't murder us, but that's because I believe it's a half one. You have no legs! Okay. Should be fine for this area now. There's one over there, but that shouldn't be an issue. None of them have range attacks of any... how to say it? Of any importance. Consequence. That's what I was looking for. There's nothing over there, is it? I haven't forgotten... No. I, for a very brief moment, thought there might be something over here that I'd never noticed in any other playthrough. And I was about to be like, oh my god, how did I not notice that in previous runs? But no, it's not an issue. Oh. And we completely missed the thing we had to drop onto. Turns out to climb up again. Now, just going back to the previous part for a second. If you didn't kill the beast on the bridge, it will appear on the ground down here. If you just run away from it, it will essentially jump off the bridge and come up for you. This is not a mimic, I don't think. No, sorry. Yoshika's spear. I'm tempted to Estus that up. There's an item we could probably get there if we wanted to. First. Just thinking. I think the area up there is where we come out of if we go through the upstairs ladder area. I'll just double check. We only lose time for going back here. Time, one of the most valuable real-life resources. You don't get it back, but we'll double check. Yeah, as I thought, it just drops you here. There's nothing on this ledge. Nope. Okay. And yeah, that's where we start. You can jump off there to get down to the area below here, which is fine. Which then gets you quicker to that. I think there's actually one beneath us. Yeah, you want to stop it from screaming if you can. It aggroes every other hidden one that's in this area, I think. And gives them red eyes, which makes them super aggro. It's fine. Over here. I know if I miss one, it's just going to sneak up on me later and backstab me, so I want to make sure I get them all. There's another one at least up ahead, but yeah, there's something here. Quick knee tighten it. Very nice. We'll need them all later. I think we actually have enough to get one up to just shy of maximizing its light level. I was about to say item level, but I stopped myself. This is not an MMO. There are not raid bosses. Dungeons. I'm not sure how many people played Ragnarok online when they were younger, but I do like MMOs that have that kind of class system. We don't really have that these days. Closest is Final Fantasy 14, but even that comes up short, because it did used to have a lot of customization between jobs back before Heaven's Ward and even in Heaven's Ward, but they got rid of that. We're seeing a trend these days of developers in MMOs simplifying their games and removing customization, because it just makes balancing things much easier for them. And developing other mechanics for the games so they don't have to cross-reference it with everything else that's already been made. It's rare to find a game these days that allows you to have open customization. Which, honestly, is sad. I would have preferred to see that we got more games like Ragnarok Online and their customization and things more in that direction. Final Fantasy Tactics, for example, is another one if you haven't played Ragnarok Online. More customization, like able to choose a job. If you've got certain job unlocks, you're able to unlock advanced jobs and have different support abilities and spells based on what you've mastered in the past. It's a bit off topic from what we're currently doing, but we have some time to speak as we're going through this area. There's nothing of particular interest. Now, there are a few other MMOs that have tried to follow Ragnarok's example, if that makes sense, but they haven't met much success, mostly because the ones that have been Korean-based ones, which essentially means that they were developed in Korea and they started with the Korean language. So a very small player base just to start off with. And generally they don't translate either well their games into English or just delay it till it's too late. And their game's already fallen off the zeitgeist, you could say. To borrow a little bit of German there. This area, fairly empty. There's nothing else really to deal with here. If you killed the beast up on the bridge, as I said, this is where it would reappear. You'd have to fight it in deep water, which is generally not what you want to do for a fast enemy. You have some weird rocks here, which are slightly out of place from my perspective. I think that up there is the... Okay, let's just think things through a little bit. That would not be the cathedral. I think that's the Undead Settlement. Because of the tree. That could be actually. No, that would be the house that we killed the Watchers in. So if that's Undead Settlement, then that means... Just trying to think through geography where we are. I'm actually not sure. Erythel isn't one of those places that really stands out on the map of the world that you get. Or rather, the lookouts that you get up there. Yeah, don't jump down there. You'll die. But that's more of the cathedral. Trying to think. If that's the prison there, then that means Dragon Temple must be on the island, not the island, the mountain over there. Or at least somewhere in that direction. Bit weird, because when we came down, all of that was on the opposite side of where we came down from up there from. I'm having trouble working my head around it. It's fine. We know the connections are up, and that's the important part. Now, we could go straight into the prison from here and go down to Yulm, but we're going to actually finish Irithyll up, so that means we're going to go through here, make our way up, unlock the shortcut, and eventually fight the Pontiff. Which is going to be one of the scarier fights of the game, because even now I can't kill him reliably. He's too fast. It's the only why I always grab as many summons as I can when I do so. Also, the area coming up is... well, not here. This is fairly simple. But the dogs in the area up ahead is annoying. I'd rather not die to these. I just said this area is simple. I'd rather not prove myself wrong, if possible. That's my last Estus. What I should do is go rest that one part we just got. Because I'm fairly sure I need Estus for the next part, which has the Silver Knights. I know. It's backtracking, it's removing progress, it's wasting time, but we'll do what we have to survive. Going into an area in this game unprepared is not something I can recommend. And while Estus can occasionally be restored by killing enemies randomly, it's a small chance to go a very small part of an Estus flashback. It's not something we can rely upon. Not for this next section, at least. And it is getting very hot in this part of the room. Okay, this one first. I hope that one doesn't slam me like it did before. No. Grab this third one. No, no. Stop. Okay. These look kind of like mini gaping dragons, to be honest. The last time I played Dark Souls 1, the remaster, I essentially got up to the Gaping Dragon and said, this is enough again for me. Actually, I think that's a lie. I think I got down and killed... I rang the first bell in Swamp Town. Or Blight Town. I was like, these controls are clunky. I'd rather just play Dark Souls 3. Or Dark Souls. Or any other Souls, rather than just one. Because you don't appreciate it while playing Dark Souls 3, but when you go back, it is much clunkier. The rolls are slower. That's covered ashes. And my dog is barking or something. It's just a generally much more unpleasant experience. Oh, he's getting a little nap. Let's wake him up.
Excuse me, I must have dozed off. It's rather warm in here. Well, oh, I seem to and a little surprised. I know. Well, I make a fine est. Even we undead deserve it. And finally, to your valor, long may...
Now, in regards to Grey Rat,
Have you heard somewhere, and even but home? Oh, that reminds me. Oh, well, the only.
in regards to Grey Rat, we can send him out to Irithyll to gather stuff, but we need to have Sigmire or Patches to save him. I'm not sure if talking to Sigmire here will save him or not. I think if we send him out before we get into the prison, we should be fine. I think. I'm not sure about that. So what we're going to do is continue on. We do need to go back and visit the Firelink Shrine to do it, but... we'll move right ahead. No comment on that. But yes, going back. We're going to go, open the shortcut, go back to the bonfire, which is at the church, then go to Firelink Shrine, send Grey Rat out, and hope that Sigmire will still save him. Because he might not. So. Now, if you're coming in this room, there's one important thing you need to know. There's a silver nun up there with a great bow who will begin to shoot at you if he has the chance. So if you want to fight this guy, which you most certainly do, hey. Hey. There we go. You need to dodge those, because you can't really poise through them. Okay. We don't want to get hit by that more than once. Yeah, they are slightly easier to stagger compared to the Dark Knights, but they also hit much harder. Ah. See what I mean? Look at that size of this arrow. Straight through me. Divine Blessing. Kinda nice. Full heal, essentially, but we may not end up using it. They're a bit difficult to pull use out of. Now, if I believe there's 2 more knights up here. There's one at the end of this hole, and then of course there's the sniper. But we just barely missed that one. Ow. We do actually want to heal up after that, because the lightning sword attack he does can one-shot you if you don't. Just want to be very careful here. Hitting away. Hitting away. Ah! I should heal up. Ah! Oh, we got very lucky there. If that had hit, we'd be dead. Silver 9 health. Fuck. I forgot that those things drop hold air, essentially. Okay. We're lucky here. We might be able to sneak up on this guy and kick him down to the floor below. If we can do that, then this last night feels much easier. Sneaking up on these guys is hard at the best of times. Put down on him. And kill him. Luckily, that last kick nearly murdered us. I would have laughed, though, if that kick... probably would have laughed. Probably would have been slightly annoyed if that last kick got us killed. Because kicking in this game has been an issue for us since we started this run. I know what does the kick, I know it's the right input, and we just keep on doing it by accident. Okay, none of these mimics, I don't think. Divine Blessing. Morg's Great Hammer, another weapon that's quite nice that we're never going to use. And the Leo Ring. What's the Leo Ring do again? Strengthens thrust weapon counterattacks. A very important item for some builds. We aren't going to be using it though. and there's nothing along that edge. So we're just going to quickly go back through here. We could drop down, but it would hurt us, so instead of wasting Estus doing that, we're just going to go this way. Now we come up to another area I dislike, because it's much like the entrance to the Cathedral of the Deep, where it just had so many dogs, because this area is essentially just that. With more dogs. Well, less dogs, but, you know, big dogs. We shall try fire, as we can. That's 2 dogs. As our own dogs bark in the background. We're out of stamina. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that should be all the dogs. Pick this up. Just a soul. We have nearly 60,000 souls. If we lose them here, I'll be lightly annoyed. I think there's another dog here. Yeah, fire was a good tip. Made that area slightly less annoying. Just slightly. Go here. Open the shortcut. Then we can send Grey right out, I think. Let those knights go. Shouldn't have to fight them. Come across here. This will start moving. Shouldn't have to fight those. And we should just be able to go and yep, teleport through here. Actually, we got 9 in there. Proof of concord kept. Item for the Blue Sentinels, I believe. Their PvP item. Their rewards, if I remember correctly, aren't great. You get 1 sorcery, I think, and the Moonlight Bow, which is a magic-based bow. Honestly though, I like the faction. Reasons I'm not going to go into. But I came here to Grey Rat. I'm getting old, senile memory.
Oh, hello. Discovering if the tale. What do you?
Let him out.
Fine. I am Grey Rat.
Okay, he's going to stay
I
away
am Grey.
for a while. If we've done the questline correct, he should come back. If we've done it incorrectly, he's going to die.
Goodbye, Deuces.
To be honest though, it doesn't really matter that much, because either way, we still got the items for sending him out. We just need to go back and grab his ashes. And he'll die on the 3rd send out anyway. We can never send him out for the 3rd one, but yeah. I actually don't know where his ashes are for the 3rd. I probably shouldn't have done that, but it's fine. Send out. I think they're in the library if you go through that area. I could be wrong. Let's see, church. Could be one of those things where we send him out to do the last thievery, he doesn't come back, and then we never actually get his ashes ever again, and his entire inventory is just locked out for us. I prefer if that doesn't happen, but it could. If you want to stop Anri's questline, you can still just come up and hit this one. Is Anri still here? Yeah, he's already left. Okay, we should just be able to come down here. Not have to worry about the 2 knights there. And move on. In fact, if we come here, yep, they all start moving. Which I think will help us later on. We'll just send this back up. I think we actually still need to fight one of the dogs. coming this way. And I believe we also have to do this one here. Not the dog, but the caster. I think the dog is fine, just to keep on resting there. I don't think there's another caster on this level. No. Two ways to do this next area. You can go through the front door, which I do not recommend. Or you can take a little bit of HP damage and roll down here. Which allows you to essentially do it backwards, which lets you get rid of the more annoying ones up here first. One, two, there's a third one here. Ooh, there's all the ones up here. Probably shouldn't have wasted our time here, but... Why did we kick? Why? We live just to kick. Okay, I remembered you there. Your invisibility is tricking that one. I think there's one left here somewhere. No. Those ones make you paranoid about other ones. Should be fine though. Can't get that item over there from here, but we can get this one. No, there's no football. That was just a soul, I believe. If only I had an enemy. That was so good. I don't find against this variety of them enough to really know the movement pattern, but the stairs help. Well, that's two parts to that. That's it. We just need the chest and the legs. We're probably not going to get them. If we get one more, I'd be very tempted to start farming for them. That said, trying to farm up a set of enemy drops is painful. It is very painful. Because you start just getting double drops of ones you already have. And there's nothing worse than that. Okay, there's no other items up here. Let's go down, open the shortcut. Do it from the church. There are two good ones here, I think. That's this one. And there's another one here. Don't think there's a third. We can open this. We can go down and deal with this guy. No. Settle down. So the... No. So was there one? Does it look like there was one crawling there? But apparently not. There's a Pontiff there that has been aggroed. The sun's firstborn. Nope. Sword. Yep. And backstab. And nothing. As I said, I'm very tempted to start trying to farm for him. Magic clutch ring. The ring of the sun's firstborn, I believe, just gives bonus to sorceries. Not sorceries, miracles. Yep, greatly boosts them. We got a lightning stone there, which gives us lightning on a weapon. Not a bad one. Could certainly deal with it. As for whether we should go try the boss, probably not with our current setup. I want to have maximum Estus if we're going to do that if we can. I am very tempted to try and start farming for that set. How many more of these Pontiff Knights are actually down here? Yeah, if it wasn't for those and the sheer amount of knights that are in that area, we'd actually start farming for them. As things are, we won't. But who knows? We have to actually kill 2 more before we can actually kill the boss, so... might get lucky. Our luck stat is at its minimum, mind you. It's at 10. But, you know, there's always a chance. It would pivot hard into Frost, though, if we did. I'll essentially grab one of the gems and try and... Ah! Forgot about you two. And try and make a weapon quite cold. And sword, and can I backstab you? No. That's fine. Now we're doing FromSoft Marathon at the moment, so that means we're going to go through this, Sekiro, and Elden Ring. After that, I'm actually thinking about doing a Persona Marathon, because we have Persona 4 and 5 in my own library. And by then I should be able to hopefully get Persona 3 as well and do a playthrough of that. We won't play Persona 1 or 2 because they're too different and they're not on PC as far as I'm aware. Ember up. Now we should have one, which is you, and we should have another. There's the Londo Pelshade. I thought we had Cyrus as an option for this one. No, we have Arnery. So we'll get Arnery and we'll get the Black Hand. We won't get the Pelshade because, if I remember correctly, the Pelshade isn't that great. It's not bad, mind you. Any help in these fights is pretty good. And before you start saying, hey, I should be doing it solo, no. I'm okay at the game, I'm not great. I do not mind accepting help when I can. And plus we have DLC bosses later on that we actually don't have assistance for. Because I'm not going to be using player-based summons, only NPCs. Buy my sword. Just someone let me solo her into this game. Okay, Pontiff Sullivan. I'm going to say one of the harder bosses. Dark Spirit, something, return time. Because he punishes people being over-aggressive. But also, you can't afford not to be passive against me either. Because if you are, you just won't ever kill him before he kills you. Ow. Luckily his damage isn't absurd. At least in this phase. You can get up there, but it's manageable at this point. Can we just kick again? Really? Okay. Oh! This is the second form. Okay, there are two ways to deal with this fight. The first is kill the shadow. Second is ignore the shadow. Personally, I prefer to kill it. He will summon it very fast again, but it gives you a moment of not having to deal with it. We should just help with your aura. Plus, every time he does that, it's actually a moment where you can start DPS again. Ah. Okay. We should have them dead. This shouldn't take too much longer. As long as we don't die to his combo right now. Okay, we're fine. Okay. We actually had more than enough damage for him. Casters in that fight have a much harder time, because usually they sacrifice having Vigor for more intelligence and attunement. Because we've been specifically boosting up our Vigor and Endurance with our Dexterity, we've got more than enough to survive it. We could take enough hits, even in this armor. Okay, that's the Pontiff done. Now, we could go do the prison, but we're going to do two things first. We're going to spend our souls. And actually, I think I will do the prison first, because otherwise it's going to mess with the NPC storylines. Why do you keep on turning in that direction? I saw you facing this one, and then you turned in this one. Why? But yeah, because you get teleported out after killing 3 lords total. 1 lord you have to kill just to get this far, so 2 extra lords. You can kill 1 without anything happening. You generally want to do that on your own, because there is an NPC that you have to talk to after his fight to finish up his story. If you get teleported out after that to the dancer, that's going to be trouble. So we won't do that. Just going to think. We'll double check what we get from his soul. I believe it's just one of his 2 souls.
Aha, so
Yeah, you either get the soul, the Great Sword of Judgment, or the Profaned Great Sword. The 2 swords he was dual wielding. Profaned, I believe, is a fire one. The Great Sword of Judgment is the magic one. Scales of intelligence, scales of just straight damage. But it is a great sword that has its own inflame ability, which is rare, both rare and very useful. And just to get people angry, we are not going to get either of them. Now, did Grey Rat survive? Because I think you actually have to kill boss before he comes back. Seems so.
Oh, then we're both safe and sound. Thank the gods for that. I might have died if it wasn't for that peculiar onion knight.
Yep.
But in the take a good look.
We got very lucky, because if we'd gone down the prison before doing that, I don't think he would have been around to save Grey Rat from his fate. I almost forgot about it entirely. Because Sigma's questline isn't under a time limit. The only time limit it actually has is killing Yorn. If you kill Yorn before getting Sigma to that point, you have an issue. But you can go through pretty much the rest of the entire game without damaging his questline. So technically you could have left the island with Patches, sent Grey Rat out, then had let Patches know about it, and Patches would have saved him. But we get some nice items, some scales, some Twinkling Titanite. Lothric Knight Greatsword. Interesting. Pontiff Knight Shield. You don't actually sell Pontiff Knight armor, do you? No. It's overall pretty basic. There's not much in the way of improvement to his inventory. He does give a bunch of basic items, like the Sword-Hander. His Y-Hander, I should say. They're good for some basic builds if you want to actually start using certain weapons, but generally speaking, there's nothing top tier that you can get from him. Even the Pontiff shield isn't the greatest weapon in the world. I should say greatest shield in the world. Because it doesn't have full physical protection, which is a major detriment to most shields. Actually does have pretty good other resistances. It's actually one of the higher ones for magic. And fire, lightning, dark has it has low stability. 42 is actually quite low by the looks of it. He does give you access to the Pontiff Knight's sword. Fairly early too, because we've had that access to that for a while. So if you want to go cross build, he does help you out with that. We didn't get an extra chunk to upgrade, I think, did we?
Wasn't he?
No.
Pretty. I don't.
We did get enough, however, to upgrade our Pyromancy Flame. And now that's plus 6 as well.
Not be gone. What is?
We got no more ashes for you, I don't think, did we? We did.
Gracious let I
Excrement version doesn't give much, only gives these 2 items there. Which are, honestly, very disgusting. And, yeah, nothing else.
Ashen Whatman.
There's no other items, no other storylines we have to do. I think we actually do have to talk to Uria, which we will, just shortly. Because I believe she tells us that Arnery has been moved to the correct position.
Speak the honorable. Ah, good tide. The time is the boy.
Yep.
So then.
She doesn't sound anything too interesting, other than the Dark Hand, which is one of the more iconic weapons of Dark Souls 1, but we don't actually need it in this version. Hollowing isn't a thing, gathering humanity isn't a thing, and the Dark Hand, while a very cool shield, isn't that important. Okay, we spend souls here, not the bonfire.
Welcome home. Speak very well. Then taken.
Okay, so what we're gonna do. How many levels did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 levels. The next is 2 more points to spend. Okay, we want to get both these up to 20. Okay, and that leaves us with a nice 64 souls. And a second attunement slot.
Well, Ashen One, may the
I doubt spells are going to be a large part of our build, so to speak, our kit, but it is something that we're just going to have in the back in case we need them. We just need more attunement at the moment, because even if we do get enough slots to slot in Chaos Bed Vestiges, we can only cast it once. We don't have enough FP to cast more than that, I don't think. A few ways to do this area. I'm a fan of just dropping down to that, grabbing the item and all that. Because one of the knights here is actually really annoying to fight. Because he's just going to come at us. Oh, we fell. Oh. Let's run. We're not going to not kill them, we're just going to move to a more defensible area where we're not getting swarmed by all of them at once. Whoop! There's one behind us. You die first. Okay. Another blood gem. It's almost like they're trying to tell us something. Wasn't actually an item there, no. There was an item up here, so we'll grab that first. It's not the greatest item if I remember correctly. I think it's just like a soul or something. Oh, rusted gold coin. Even worse. A soul would at least be useful. invisible. Ah! Could kill us. We got very lucky there. We were a sneeze away from death. Okay. Now we're actually going to get evaded when we step out here. We do actually want to kill them though. It's going to be hard to kill them, but we want to. Because it unlocks one of my more favored armor sets. At least I thought we were going to get evaded. Yep. Alva's set. Oh! He's going to be annoying as all hell. Unless he rolls off. Which is a possibility for him. And he's dead. Okay. Actually much easier than I thought. We're having a pretty easy time of it this run. Specializing in a weapon tends to do that, it seems. But may end up changing later on. As for the armor set he unlocks, the Alva's set, may use it, may not. It's one of my favored ones, but we're not exactly going for a full knight build this time. And if I was going to switch to an armored set, it would probably be the Dragon Knight set that we'll get later on. Now, just a sound warning, if you get scared as easily, this may be an area to just turn the volume down just a touch. Because we're going to get spooked a few times through here. Actually didn't notice that there was one of those in here. Take this one? Nope. It's locked. Surprised me. There's nothing in that one. I believe that she was on the left here. Yeah. You want to blitz those for 2 reasons. One, they reduce your health just by existing. And 2, if they do end up managing to get a hit on you, you're going to most likely just die. Also apologize if you can hear a lawnmower in the distance. It just occurred to me that that is happening nearby. Hopefully it's not getting picked up too much on the mic. Okay, nothing else in here. We'll quickly around the corner and deal with this one. And that will aggro the one behind here. No? We're fine? Okay, we have a moment. I want to kill these quickly because otherwise the maggots can start bursting out of them. Nope, stop. There we go. These jailers, not exactly my favorite enemy in the game. I think the mechanic's cool. The fact that they reduce your max HP is actually fairly ingenious. I don't think it's actually new to this one. I think it actually appeared in Demon Souls. But yeah, it's just I don't like living through it. Okay. I don't want to exactly deal with all of you guys. There's not a jailer down here, I don't think, so we're fine. Where's you? Which we need to kill. You guys go away. It's locked, we actually need a key to deal with them. The one in the back, I think, explodes. Yep, you. Ah! No, stop. Yeah. Hate it. Hate it so much. Musically didn't actually put the bleed worms on us, which is weird. Normally they do. Now, generally speaking, you don't have to kill this thing, it's entirely optional. Especially in our build where we're not actually using magic. And in quite close combat, it can be annoying. In fact, we should just actually put a fire weapon on, that would have dealt with it in short order. But it does give Great Magic Shield, a very useful spell to have, depending on what you want to do with it. I don't think it has as much use in this one as it does Dark Souls 2, I think. That one sends more spells flying your way. This one has a few magic effects, but not many. Okay, let's just ignore the rest of these. Yeah, hopefully the noise gate is stopping the sound a little more in the distance. If it's not, I do apologize. It should stop in roughly 20 or so minutes. Preferably less. Is there a jar on the side? There's one down there, but... okay. Let's deal with that. Do it once, you don't have to do it again. Okay. And we can't go through this way because the gate's shut. So we go through here. That's been sealed up. This is the first of the I'm not even sure what you'd call these that we see. It's completely non-hostile, you can kill it and it won't do anything. But it's a little bit spooky. Come along here. I think this one's another screamer. Nope. Okay, the jailbreak key allows us to open up, I believe, the window over there, which is one of the shortcuts through this area. Allows us to basically avoid most of the nastiness we're about to have to. I think there's 3 jails down here, if I remember correctly. Build this one quickly. There's one here. Nope. Stop. Knock it off. Okay. There we go. What? God, that one's hostile. Our health will come back shortly. We can heal it up. But let's not deal with that until we have to. Yeah, I thought that one was not hostile. Simple gem. Nice. Simple weapons, I believe, don't quote me on this, give some intelligence scaling, but a much smaller amount. It's kind of like a... it's close to being a raw weapon, but not. Generally speaking, they're just generally worse. Not a good gem for a lot of builds. Ooh, stop throwing that at me. Right, this side. Now, I believe this will get us killed because I believe it gets us to aggro that one. I think there's another one in one of these rooms. This is the Screamer. Also aggro's. But if you want some silence, that's how you get it. Yeah, because it essentially allows you to go get that item, which allows you to then, I believe, jump over to there. So we're probably going to go back and do that. Because I believe that item is one of the better ones to get. Specifically, I think it's either the sorcery boost ring, which we won't be using, or the sorcery, not sorcery, the spell casting duration ring, which we may end up using at some point. It depends. We don't really use enough buffs to justify putting it in, but I just like having it on hand. So we should be able to open this up. Yep. And come through here. Just one. Grab this. Bellowing Dragon Crest. I believe that is the duration one. It's lingering. Ah, we already have the lingering one. Yeah, greatly boost sorceries. I believe by, I'm not sure 20%, it might be 15. I believe 20% is the clutch ring. And then drop down here. Pull that. Ah, good, we got lucky. I thought I'd rolled off to my death there. Now, I'm fairly sure you can't, but you may be able to drop down there to sneak through. Or rather, shortcut it through. It may be possible. I can't confirm nor deny it. You'd have to use the Flynn ring at least. Not Flynn ring, the cat ring. Actually, don't think it can roll off there. But I'm not going to deny it outright. It may be possible. Speedrunners, let me know. Now this is Mimic. Don't use up all your stamina. One hit away. Nope, don't get kicked. Or grabbed. There we go. Mimics always worry me. That's a shot. Because they are, even at this point, can still one-shot us. Shift a little bit. These guys have negative boys. You roll into them and they just fall over. Yeah, it's all of them. I think it's all of them. Yep. Now we have the hard part. Actually, let's just way back up. We have to kill a giant in a place that doesn't really help us kill a giant. So I want to drop down this one. We'll aggro the giant. Run over right along here. And... ah! Oh, we got lucky. We got really lucky there. Whew. Sleeping again? Cool. See, I thought after he knocked us off that we were going to take fall damage from hitting the ground. Luckily we didn't. Now, this is another mimic. Oh, there are so many mimics here, I have no idea. So the reason we're away from that, even though it's obviously out of range, is because I've accidentally been hit by that in the past. And I'd rather not end up dying, if at all possible. So now I just be careful with it. To be honest, that mimic, not really worth it. Okay, where does this take us again? It doesn't lead us all the way back up to before the giant, does it? If so, I need to go back. It takes us to above the giant area, which we do need to go to. So, let's do this. Hopefully we don't mess up that jump. Let's double check how you jump again. It's L3. I think, yes. Yep. Cool, let's do this. Jump. Got it. Pro. So I think it's on that side, right? Yeah, I think there is something underneath the giant there, but it's fine. Oh, fucked it. Let's just roll up. If we're gonna get hit anyway, just roll up early. We have the health to survive it. And he's sleeping. Cool. So let's clear out some of these rats. Let's just come over here. Lead the ones we can into this. They are constantly respawning, so you can't actually kill all of them. But you can lower the numbers before you start the fight. We're also going to activate the shortcut. And you can see the bodies are actually despawning, so it doesn't lag the game when you're killing so many of them. It's actually rare. Bodies in Dark Souls 3 generally don't respawn. It looks weird if they do. But this time, they just do it. Now, we could reset the area, but I don't want to, because if we can kill the giant with just one Estus, that means that we will get the key that allows us to unlock a lot of the places that we skipped over up above. Okay, so let's get this. Oh! Wait, knock it off. Come on. I'm gonna come back. Can't see a thing. Right. It's got stuff on us. Can we hit the sweet spot? Can he not counter us? Yeah. Keep hitting your ankle, boy. Yeah, he's definitely trying to do something to us, but he can't get the right angle on to do it. I think he's trying to stomp the other foot on us. He may have glitched out a little bit though. Yep, there we are. Okay, so that's those. I thought we got the key from here. No, it must be on the upper area. In which case it's fine. The ladder to get up there. But literally just the other ladder that we went up before. That's fine. Okay, I take back what I said. I thought we got the master key down here, but that's further in. So what we're going to do is actually reset. The upper area isn't actually too difficult, so that should be fine. My ears are getting pinched, and I'm like, why does it hurt so much? Because my glasses are in the way. actually have to wear them slightly weirdly with these old headphones because if you wear them normally, it cuts off circulation and it does not feel good. Okay, Giant's gone, rats are back, but no one really cares about them. The patrol in Upper Tunnel is also back, but we shouldn't be around long enough for them to be an issue either. Just climbing. I actually wonder why they had a giant there. Was it just in jail? Was it the giant's jail? Or was it actually serving a purpose? Because every other giant we see in this game is serving some kind of purpose. Whether they're alive or dead. The ones, for example, near the triple catapult, or I should say ballista, probably actually took it there and set it up. The giant in the tower has pretty much always been a giant in the tower shooting at things. But here? Doesn't look like it. Maybe just keeping it in jail, making sure no prisoners got through this area. Maybe it's just possible, responsible for cleaning up the refuse that comes out of that grill. We'll never know. Nope. I'm out. Can't catch me. Yeah, we just roll down there. We just roll down there. Grab this, and deal with these. Wait. Settle down. Really? There had to be lawnmowing outside the window in this moment today. Rather rude. I do apologize if it's getting picked up again. Because it is just noxiously loud. It's not even my yard. It's the one, I think it's neighbors. Okay, one of these is Mimic, and the type of Mimic I don't like. Not this one. It's this one. Because it has a charge attack that's essentially the Mimic's grapple from the other ones, and it will kill you just as effectively as the one. So unlike other ones, I fully recommend A, being behind it, and 2, being much more aggressive. It does drop the Dark Clutch Ring, which for Dark builds is one of the key items. Old Silk Key. Obstacles by themselves, generally not a big deal, and this many numbers could prove difficult. Need to kill some of them off. Yep, getting cursed. I think it's the first time I've actually been cursed in this game in a while. We didn't die in a bad position though. It's not hard to get back there, and the enemies to get back there aren't difficult to deal with. Now, what would have been funny is if I ran off there and died. Let's cue the elevator music. Dun, 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 dun. That's not long enough. It's fine. I'll send this back up so we don't have to worry about it in the future, in case we do end up dying. Okay, we'll just take it on the left. Just go straight up. We take the elevator all the way down, then we have to take an elevator, ladder all the way up. The irony of it is not lost on me. First yawn of the day. Over here. I swear I'm hearing. Ah, I am hearing one of those. I was like, why can I hear a twinkling? Thought I'd gone through this area, and apparently that one disappears. So, small benefit coming back here. Now, we could go back up there, but we honestly have no need to actually kill all those basilisks. I believe there are 2 giant rats in this room. Yep, there is. The rats themselves aren't too difficult to deal with, but they've killed me in the past as well. I'm just trying to remember, we got a key. Was it the key that I was after? Key to the oldest cell in all of Earthel Dungeon. It's not the final key to this place, so we will go and unlock all the cells that we could, but we'll do that after we get the final key to this location. I'm fairly sure that the key we have now does not open up the key to the NPC's location that we want to get, and also one of the other Frankenstein torso. One of the other cells that we want to get some stuff from. Now there is an item there that we're going to get, but I'm going to get them on the way down. So we want to open up the shortcut. Because yeah, I can't remember which key opens which doors specifically, but better to just go through and we have all the keys compared to checking out, finding our way to a cell only to find out we can't open it. And this is one of the few areas that hints of how to get to that area over there. I'm actually not sure how people found out about this to start off with. Were they just ready and waiting to try? I think one of the reviewers for the game found out about it and spoiled it online shortly after release. Okay, this area also fairly annoying. Because I can kill them in, I think, 2 to 3 hits, but when there's that many chasing after you, it can prove annoying. So kill this one. Kill these 2 in fact. And then run away from the rest, because you can see they're just sapping health. And I've never actually tested what happens if they sap you all the way down to 0. I'm not even sure if they can. It may just leave you at 1. If it leaves you at 1, it's not as bad as I thought it was, but you want to be careful. Oh, we'll find out in a second, I suppose. Oh, careful. It leaves you at 12. Okay, it doesn't get lower than that. Since we don't want to be hit by these guys regardless, 12 actually isn't too bad. You know, that's slightly scary. How many are left? I think it's just 2. Yep, just the 2. Plus 1 that's around the corner. And I believe there's one more around the corner here. If you can see them just there. They aggro, but I don't think they chase. I'm not going to waste an Estus on it, just in case. Yep. And I don't think I can open her key at the moment. No. Open her cell. What we can do, though, is get his armor set. I believe they're now trimming the hedges? My god, they're so loud. Hopefully it's not coming through. Hopefully. So that's this area cleared. Let's do in here. Oh. Just a bunch of these enemies hidden around the area, which do aggro as you come in. I believe there's one on the roof as well. Come for us in a sec. How many? There's one there and one there, so 2. I believe that one's chained to the wall. So this one will try and hit us, but I don't think it can hit us. It can after us until we attack it. Profane Coal. We can now add Dark Coal weapon. I believe it's Dark Bleed and what else? Dark, Lacerating, and Hollow. Hollow is an interesting infusion. It doesn't really improve off most base stats. It does improve off luck, I believe. So if you want to do a luck build, or an arcane build from those who played Bloodborne, that is how you'd end up doing it. Just like a string jig. H2O. Now, this cell has nothing in it, but we're still going to open it anyway. I don't think there's really no point to open that cell. I just did it for the heck of it. Now, I think it's one of these two. It might be this one that screams. Nope. This is Ashes. Is it you that scream? Yep. I believe Xanthus's Ashes just gives us the ability to buy the headpiece. The absurdly large yellow turban wrapping. There's nothing else we can really grab from in here until we have the other key, like I said. Which means we get to fight one of the gargoyles in the bridge. Advice for gargoyles: if you can avoid fighting them, avoid fighting them. They are more trouble than they're worth, if that makes sense. They are it's entirely doable to defeat one. Just not really useful, I want to say. So for this one, for example, just skip it. It can't follow you past that point. And just like that, we're past it. Now we still have enough Estus that we're not going to rest this bonfire, but we are going to activate it. Because there is a bonfire here. Stretch out, and another Undead Bone Shard. I think we're near the maximum of Estus Flask increasing. I think the top version is 8. Though I could be wrong about that, it might be 10. I'm still actually not sure how to get that one down there. Because it's not like you drop off to get it. I think it's a ladder you can take to get it. Yeah, it's not worth testing out. Okay, what's this? I think there actually is an item down here. This area does definitely look like Grecian. Definitely borrows the Athens aesthetic of the people building the place, but there's not a lot other than that you learn about this location. I mean, it's the burned capital, propane capital, so you just have to assume that a lot of it is either buried or destroyed. But, yeah, I would have liked to have seen more development of this section. As you get a few small areas here and there, but nothing substantial. There's Skywalker. Just to give you an idea of how annoying this thing's gonna be. That was not a good example of how annoying these things can be. I killed it way too easily for you. But the shields can be used as the wings can be used as a shield. They hit rather hard, can move quickly. The one with the spear, fairly annoying. Okay, that's a hole we want to go around. The sounds I can hear are from those crab-like lobster people from below. Okay, no. It's two. I think that's the third in this area. I can't remember. But there may also be a second hole that goes down. Yeah, hole ahead. It's the very top of the stairs. It's meant to trick you. Because every other hallway in the game that's like this has a hole. It's usually only one. This one is deliberately designed to trick you to fall for the second one. Now, one of my least favorite areas, because I believe the poison here isn't poison, it's toxic. I could be wrong about that, mind you. It could just be poison. But it's also slow movement. No, it's toxin. It's most certainly toxin if they give you that. We'll get rid of these, we don't need them anymore. Now, I believe the item in there is a poison gemstone. We don't really need that. And the keys are up there. So we're not going to linger and we're not going to fight too many of these, because we don't need to. We're just going to get the items and get out. Because I don't really want to have to deal with poison and toxin. I'm going to avoid it. I'll show you it just once, because I hate going in this area. And we're not going to fight the hands, so it's also annoying. Here, please. If you're going to fight me, we're going to do it where we can't get poisoned. No. Just no. Okay, we got one. Crippling stone. Not worth it. And you can see how fast my health is dropping in toxic. Okay, I would 100% recommend skipping what is in here. Because these hands are not worth fighting. They're too, as far as I'm aware at least, too heavily physically resistant to even be worth doing anything to. I don't think that item up there is worth anything. I haven't been through here recently, so memory is bad and shoddy. But we'll try and grab it just for you. Be out soon! Okay. Yep, not worth it. Okay. We are going to rest up here for half a second. I have a visitor that I need to go check on. Okay. And up we go. Bear with me. Yeah, you might not be able to see this well on the web camera, but pizza. Actually, this plate, so it shouldn't make anything too disgustingly oily. And I'm going to eat that later on. Won't have it now. I do actually like to let my hot food cool down just a little bit. But I was not expecting that. It's a nice treat. Actually, how long has this recording been going for? Coming up to nearly 2 hours now. So, done a pretty good run so far. Because we went through all of Irithyll in this part, I believe, and also this prison. So, we may end up pausing this part after we finish the prison. Which also, for me, includes the Refrain Capital that we're in now. In here, again, nothing too worth it. Fighting one of those hands is just the worst. Oh, that one's active. That, I believe, is a mimic. It is. Okay, if we do want to escape quickly, we can drop down there. As things are, though, we should be able to fight the mimic without the hand interfering. Nope. I said nope. I take it back. The hand's 100% going to interfere. Okay, it's Court Sorcerer's Staff. Come in here. I don't think there's anything. Nope. See, it's just not worth fighting them. They have way too much health. No, that one seems slightly trapped at the moment. And I believe, if I recall, they're effectively magic resistant. Though not bleed resistant, we managed to bleed one fairly well. Yeah, this guy... No, settle down. And they only drop down. It's too much effort for too little reward. It's much easier just to run straight past. So... up here? No. He actually has poison during that attack, which surprises me. Ah! If he double taps me with that, that could be bad. But we're okay. This entire run has just been a showcase of why poise is important. Any enemy that has any amount of poise makes me much more cautious compared to anything that doesn't. As you've seen, I've just been able to steamroll pretty much anything that can stagger in one hit. Which has been a lot. I've not been using a heavy weapon. Greatswords are generally much better at staggering, and we've just been fine using a katana for the same thing for most of the run. Wrath of the Gods, a lot like Force, but I believe it also does damage. Now, we have a key, and I think it is actually the key we need for Sigma's cell, which I believe is through here. If it's not, then it's fine, but I believe we should be able to do it here and unlock him. Yep. Bop, bop, bop.
You are a saint. Once again, you are Isaac Verda. Take this.
Tighten that up. Very nice.
Ah, no, please.
What is that dog barking for?
Go on ahead.
The dog you're hearing barking, named Coco, very sweet beagle. Doesn't like strangers. Barks constantly if anyone gets anywhere near the fence. Covertus Gold. I believe Covertus is item discovery, right? Yep. Just thinking about rings there for a moment. Probably would be better to drop the silver ring and put the Collar 3 back on, but if we get used to the Collar 3 again, it's just going to hurt us more when we take it off eventually. Okay, that's those dealt with. I don't think there's one up ahead. I think those two were the only two that we had to deal with here. But, Jala's Gaming. That is the last key that we need for the rest of the souls in this place, I think. Oh. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's kill some rats. Did we reset bonfire up above? I don't think we did. Would be good if we didn't, because that means I can go through here with minimal Estus and just unlock the NPC that we need to. If we did reset, then we will have to effectively use a Homeward Bone and go through the area again. Can't remember, I think we should be fine. One of the reasons why I'm not going straight back to the bonfire before we go through here again. See if we can do this without having to help us out. They're dead, so we should be fine. Means this area down here should be cleared, and we can effectively just take the shortcut up and grab the last few items. Is there actually an item there? Or... no. Yes. That's a mimic. I think it is. Is it? This chain is not set correctly. Oh, yeah, it's breathing. Are you one of the mimics I hate? No, you're just a normal mimic. Okay. Nope. Bad mimic. And there we go. Mimics always slightly worry me. Their instant kill attack for me is anything that has an attack like that, that has percentage chance to just kill you outright, terrifies me more than any other enemy in the game.
Oh, there you are. I thought you'd all but forgotten me. Good to know that a skinny little heretic can still turn heads. Oh, you're not one of them, are you? Accept my apologies for mistaking you for one of those leeches. So, this is a land of monstrosities. You're here to but I'm guilty. A wretched child of the Abyss.
Child of the Abyss has special meaning in this game.
Is that something you can forgive?
Go back to Dark Souls 2 if you want more.
Oh, really? You will know very well. I am Carl.
Yeah, I haven't finished Dark Souls 2. Do you know the story, though? I have seen most bosses just in videos and clips. Over the years, just get exposed to a lot of different games. Did I really forget an item there? That's just resin. So yeah, I'm well aware of the various Children of the Abyss in the DLCs of that game. Basically, I'm gonna, how to say this, shorten the story a little bit, but Manus, Father of the Abyss, effectively the pygmy that got the original Dark Soul, as far as we're aware, at least, died somehow, but got buried. So he had his own little grave in the dark. And being a creature such as he was, with a soul of a lord, creatures like that, when they're dead, if their soul hasn't moved on, they can, if they're disturbed, come back as monsters, if that makes sense. Now, the people of a city got tricked by one of the serpents to dig up Manus' grave by accident, mind you. He came back, the abyss effectively exploded out of that area, much like Wolfnir's Gauntlet, for example. It didn't end well for that town. But in Dark Souls 1, the DLC, we eventually just go and set Manus back to peace. Go knock him out. You know, so go back to sleep, old man. He dies, his soul gets splintered though when that happens. Different parts end up in different people. Usually in young women in this game. Dark Souls 2, this becomes a plot point because Nashandra, one of the main protagonists, or antagonists of the game, attaches themselves to the king of Drangleic and essentially is responsible for a lot of the downfall of that kingdom. As they try to gather up all the power they can because that's what they want. There's more to it than that, but I'm paraphrasing. And you can tell through the DLCs there are other daughters of Manus, other daughters of the Abyss, that also attach themselves to kings. So one kingdom after another kingdom falls for different reasons. Either, I believe one falls to the Abyss, one falls to a dragon that gets woken up. Another one effectively fights the chaos and contains it as much as possible, but ends up being corrupted by it. And after gathering all that, there's more to it, the story than that, but I'm just going to leave it there, not to be too spoilerish, though it's already quite spoilerish. But for us, Daughters of the Abyss in Dark Souls 3 doesn't really take forefront as a plot point, but it is a callback to that. Just running into them, at least one of them, is a little worrying. And that's probably why they were jailed here. Because once it was found out that they were indeed a Daughter of the Abyss, knowing those events that may have happened, and may have been recorded in whatever history of this world may have existed, they're probably like, oh no, we need to immediately put you somewhere that can be contained. Because leaving you into your own devices will most likely end up bad for everyone. It's probably not the best decision. It's a controversial decision if it was in real life. But it's not, and they did what they had to. Okay. We have to deal with these. Really? That's bad. Okay. These guys are being really rather annoying. I need you to settle down, please. Okay. Any of you coming for me? You are. Not having FP, I believe, just does less damage for this one. You can still do the actual movement, which is what we need to do. Okay, we're not going to get a jailer set, and we're not going to make use of it. Was it the other one that had what I was after? I think it was. Okay, it's you that I need to kill. There's also one around the corner here that I need to deal with. Now, I believe there's a jailer down here. Just the one though. Oh, that's close. Okay. We fell prey to the same thing. I do like how the illusion breaks when we die. It's like, hey, you're actually an undead. Okay. We don't actually have to be down here at the moment, so we're gonna travel back to the top. Luckily getting our souls back shouldn't be too hard. We weren't that far in. And it's actually a shortcut to the one of the two cells that I want to get to. First one is this one. Jealous Keyring. That wasn't worth it. Run past him, he's going to try and push us. You. Don't have to deal with you. And then... Fall through. Prison Sheath Ashes. And that is the last item that we needed to get from this place, as far as I'm concerned. There may be more, there may be something I forgot. But we're not going to worry about it. Based on the sounds, we're actually being chased by a jailer. The one that was crossing the bridge, I think. Go back here. Now the question is, how much of the items in the Propane Capital do we want to get? Because it's actually possible to skip most of this area and just run straight to the boss. To go to the boss, we want to go this way. And to skip the boss, we go here, then jump down. Sorry. I have to have a drink of water here. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat there. But yeah, to skip to the boss, we have to go across this bridge, then down that pillar, then up there. While dodging fireballs from that. Entirely doable, but annoying. Especially when you have gargoyles also trying to get to you. Side note, that fireball also hurts a lot. Most of what we're going to be doing right now is doing what we can to avoid the fireballs. And the way to stop them is essentially just destroy these three maidens of the capital, because they aren't jailers. At least I don't think they are. They don't have the same HP drain effect, they don't have the pokers. They do have knives though. And they can backstab, so don't let them do that. And with the 4 of them dead, that shouldn't be shooting at fireballs at us anymore. That said, there is some small complications. First, I believe there is another gargoyle that will drop down and mess with us down here. Yes? No? Maybe? No? We're okay? We're okay. So, no gargoyles down here. Gargoyles down here. But there is at least one more up there that we're going to have to fight. At least, maybe even 2 more. We'll see. Because while I don't mind skipping both the left ring and right wing here, I'm going to do it. That one up there will aggro as we come down here. And it's the same thing as before. One more. There we go. Whew. I'm not sure if there's the second one. There may be. Yeah, I call them maidens, but we actually don't know what gender they are. Because of the mask and all that. Okay, there's a gargoyle up there, but I don't think they're in. No, there are. Large soul. There's nothing through there, I don't think. No. And there's nothing further up there. So we're good on this side. I think there is another gargoyle on the other wing, one of the spear versions. not entirely sure though. We'll see in a second. Let's see. There's not one there. Don't see one yet. We'll be able to hear it if it comes. Yep, there it is. The one I hit's taking it personally. Honestly, don't blame them. I would also take it personally if I could hit back a sword. Can the gargoyle fit through that door? No, I didn't think I can. Which actually, you'd think would help us, it really doesn't. We actually need some room to maneuver and roll around them. Oh. Okay, we should be good. Now, there is another chest over here. I think it's two. I don't think there's Mimic. Yeah, that one's not. Not that the enemies individually are strong, because they're actually kind of weak, but there's just so many of them, I have to be careful. Yeah, the lunge isn't as forceful and the range is smaller, and it doesn't have FP to draw. Hey. Using up all my Estus trying to get this done. I'm not sure if we're going to have enough for the boss, but we're going to give it a shot. Now, is one of these Mimic? They are, in fact, both Mimics. This one isn't. Ember? So they're both aggro when I aggro one. And are you the type I like? Yeah, you're fine. Whoop! Flying kick! We got very lucky there. And don't underestimate the tracking of their grab either. It can be lethal. That flying kick caught me by surprise. Now, I think this one here is one of the other types. Whoop. Ah, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah. I did the very thing I didn't want to and use up all my stamina. It feels bad. It feels so bad. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to Ember up pretty much immediately. We're going to run through, grab our souls, and then run for the boss. Because we don't actually have to summon Sigmar for his quest to progress. He'll just automatically join us in the fight. I believe. Okay, we should be fine down here. Excuse me. Okay, there's a gargoyle, we're ignoring it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Oh, they both gargoyles aggroed? That's rare. Okay, we should be safe from the gargoyles in here, I think. There's no summons to get, so we come through. And if we've done everything right, we should see Sigmar join us. Probably pronouncing his name wrong, but it's fine.
Yom, old friend. I, Siegfried of the Knights of Katarina, have come to uphold your peace.
I still don't know why they decided to give Yorm a pace in this cutscene.
Sunshine upon this Lord of Sindar.
He was fine without a face. It's what a giant is in every other Dark Souls. Okay, Sigmar should hold his attention. Come on. Yep. Now that he has Sigmar as his aggro target, we run through, grab the sword. Trying to do this fight without Sigmar or knowing how it's supposed to work could be devastating for most people. Stormwalker, there we are. Because he takes practically no damage from anything else. One more hit. There we go. Where's my time go? Uchigata, there. There we go. And to finish his quest line, we have to talk to him.
My thanks. I could have not kept my promise without you. Now, to your valor. Long may the sun shine. Well, the only thing to do really after a nice toast. You are a true friend. Best of luck with your duty. Well, the only you are a
This guy, OG best bro. Anything to do after a nice toast, really. It's a callback setup, and yeah. There he goes. His duty's fulfilled. That's what he rose to do. He didn't rise to fix the situation in the Lords, he just came to help a friend. Once that was done, he had no reason to stick around. He wished us well, knew that we'd be able to finish our quest, and that's all he needed to know. More than willing to leave everything to us. No, we weren't going to get that out of the chest. I don't care, you're yelling at me in the comments. You're like, no, go get it. I'm like, no, I don't want to. But that's our second lord. We're just going to spend the souls and we're going to call this part done. Spend the souls and then call this part done. Because I thought I stepped wrong way there for a sec. Is this his turn yet? Yep. Put it up. He had a big head. Maybe that's why they gave him a face, because we needed to put his skull in there. Oh, that makes more sense. Like, they didn't know what else to have of us put onto his throne if not for his skull. And to have a skull, you need to have a head. And without a head, yeah. You can't get a head. Okay. As for Yorm, I believe his soul gives two things. Either the weapon he uses, or I believe a shield.
Ah, so
Yep, Yorm's great shield. Basically a shield that he used to use before he realized he was a giant and could just smash things. Actually, no, it's... He did use a shield for a time, up until he lost the thing he wanted to protect. Probably a person.
treat the she.
Could be a place, but, you know. She's still looking in this direction. Why? There's nothing up there. I mean, so used to her looking this way rather than that way. There's nothing else we had to actually upgrade or buy, as far as I'm aware.
Needs me.
We can't upgrade our current weapon, can we? No, it's infused. Reinforce. We can. +7.
Pretty, I don't.
There's no spells we need to buy at the moment. We can't give him any more scrolls because we just haven't found any. I think we've actually got all the scrolls we can until we get the library. There is actually one thing we can do. Let's talk to you.
Ah, there you are. As I said, now, the only thing, although that... you're a wicked one. Very well. Some may avert that. Be careful. Let it...
Now, I've said Cyrus is my favorite NPC. Carla is my second favorite. Definitely high on the charts.
Oh, Quelana. Very well. I will unravel the thing. Besides... Oh, and one that resonates with the... I may be a heretical, fiendish little lass, you.
I don't think we can give her any of the sorcerer scrolls. I'm not sure, because I usually just give them to the other guy, but we might be able to.
Oh, what an earthy... I wouldn't... And cast... So don't... Oh, I know. Fine then. But do understand, I'll have no sniggering. I know. Fine. I'll have no...
Yep. Essentially, she exists so you can give her the corrupted or dark divine tones without, you know, messing up the other lady's storyline. Which, honestly, we're probably not going to end up doing anyway, because it's one of the more eppier ones. Firestorm, Report, and Pilot. And most of these aren't particularly interesting. Now, Blackfire Orb as a pyromancy is actually really nice. I've used it in the past. It does a decent amount of damage, and more importantly, its stagger is incredible. Black Flame, less so. It's not bad, but yeah, generally whenever you want to use Black Flame, you want to just throw a Blackfire Orb anyway. These three, not so much. I've used Darkblade in the past, but usually if you're going to use Dark for a weapon, you just infuse it. Dark Edge isn't bad. Generally don't use it. If you want to use it, use a Dark Flame or one of the other dark spells. Affinity, its attribute requirement's quite high, its range is actually quite short, and it doesn't do too much damage. Deep Protection as a miracle is actually one of the better buffs you can give yourself, but it's not the most powerful one. It's only a very small amount. Other than that, most of this is actually just pretty basic.
Do stay...
I'm not going to use many of those. May switch... No. I have to resist the temptation of using dark spells and that, because I've just used it so many times in the past. I could, and the temptation's strong, but I'm going to avoid doing it if I can. Now, as for yours, I did say I was going to do it this way. Yes. 50,000? 20,000. Okay, that's fine. And we won't use it anymore.
Welcome her speak. Very well. Then touch take now.
Why are you facing that way? Okay. I want to do... So how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. So 2 in here. 2 in here. And another one there. And there we go. We may end up with a dark build even without meaning to at this rate, but we should be fine. Once we get Attunement and Faith up to around 20, we're going to start going back into Dexterity again. And we're going to get Dexterity up to 50.
Farewell, Ashmade.
We don't have anything else we have to do here, I don't think. No, take it back. We have 2 things we have to do. First is Undead Bone. No, words difficult. First is Estus Shard. Turn this in.
Ah, this good, wasn't he?
Along with this.
Oh, this, yeah, but you're...
No. Reinforce. Yep. 9-2. Yep.
Pretty, I go.
And then we burn the shard just before we leave. Bonfire's burning quite strongly. And now, we go back here. Now, once we do finish this next area, and then do the dancer, we will switch to doing DLC. Because I feel like doing the DLC before the last Lord... actually, may do it the other way around. Yeah, it makes sense. Sure, why not? Forget what I was saying? We'll actually not do what I was about to say. We'll go, after we do that, so we'll do the library, and then we'll do the last Lord. And before we kill Soul Cinder, that's when we'll start doing the DLC. As for this though, I believe we'll call this card done. So, thanks for watching if you have been, and if you've made it this far. I wouldn't blame you if you haven't, because it's been a bit iffy. Audio is a bit weird. My voice is obviously not for everyone's, how to say it? Everyone's palate. I tend to just ramble on a lot as we go through this, but if you have managed to stay on this long, you're my favorite kind of person. And we'll continue on pretty soon, actually. We might even get another part done today. So, see you then.